everyone, it's Kylie, Bertucci Stamping Up Demonstrator in Australia here with you, and it is a premiere. We aren't live, but welcome to you all, virtual Kylie or virtual Bruno or both. I'm sure we'll be here watching along with you and commenting, so thank you so much for being here. We have a little bit of show and tell today as well as some card making because we want to keep you up to date with what's been happening in the Bertucci household. And as many of you know, there is never a dull moment in the Bertucci household, even during lockdown in Melbourne. There's still interesting things happening in this household. So firstly, we've done a little bit of an update in the room. Can anyone pick it? It's not actually that obvious, but it is here behind us. And there's a bit of a clue here. 4 of them have been done, but Kylie forgot to order 5 inserts. Can you see the difference with this insert here? So what we've done is we have, thank goodness I have an architect as a husband. Oh, sorry, I've knocked the table. But Bruno designed these new inserts from Coldcraft. If you haven't looked up Coldcraft, definitely go and look him up. It's definitely going to take another 6 months now for my last one. But definitely go and look him up. He has incredible inserts that are perfect for our IKEA storage solution. And he only does Australia. Sorry, everyone. It's probably one of my number 1 asked questions. How did you get your storage? I know, it's amazing. Thanks, Bruno. He designed it all. And I'm pretty sure he found Coldcraft too. But what's really cool is we have added the Stamping Up storage. And if you haven't seen this storage, I have been wanting to use this storage for a very long time in our craft room. And I was actually very sad when I went to use it and it didn't fit into our inserts. So I am that dedicated that I wanted to use them so badly that I've ordered new inserts, because that's what you do when you really want something bad enough. So these inserts, what I love about them is the fact that you get to, as you can see behind me, now all of my inks are in their own little individual section. I'll show you here what it looks like. I haven't undone the wrappaging on this, the plastic, but you'll get the idea of those inserts. And then it also allows you to add your Stampin' Write marker. So now I have all of my markers right next to my ink, and they look so beautiful and happy, and they're going to be the same as the cardstock above, and they're always going to have that place. I will eventually know exactly, I could go over there and just shut my eyes and know exactly which colour I'm getting from my crafting section. So I really love this solution. I think it's just awesome that Stampin' Up have brought out a solution for the inks and the markers, and then also over here you can see for our blends as well, they have some for the alcohol blends. So I'm loving the storage. Thank you, Stampin' Up. We're really appreciative because we just love organization as well. And the other organization tip that we can give you is definitely getting our amazing clear, what do you call them? Clear stamp cases, yes. So you can get wide or clear, and we use them for so many ideas for storage. In fact, I'm going to show you a few ideas today, but that's for my dimensionals. I use it for my designer series paper, which I'm going to use today. Even my card templates, I've created inserts for all of those. So yeah, it's just the best solution. There's another storage solution for you that's just brilliant. So we're probably going to try and work out a way, because we won't be able to fit the re-inkers, we're trying to work out a way that we can use these to store our re-inkers as well. So watch this space, but yeah, we love it. So that is a little bit of info number 1. Now the second bit of info that I wanted to share is what we've been creating. You may have missed some things on our blog. Head over to, I think I've even got my little thing here. Oh, there it is. Head over to kyliebertucci.com and check out all of our cards on there. Now, Bruno has been busy as well, and some of you, I'm pretty sure, have missed it. and I wanted to highlight his amazing tutorial that he did. He wanted to keep it top secret. I was like, no, people need to see it. So they need to see how amazing it is. And then everyone will watch your tutorial. Because he's done it for a dirt cheap price too. I think it's $3 Australian or something like that. So let me show you. Because it's just amazing. It really is. And I'm so proud of him. I'm like, people need to see your amazement. Your amazingness. So this is his card that he created. Now with this card, what I love about it is that there is a lot of detail. So first of all, there is a belly band. And what is really clever about this belly band is the ribbon is attached to the band. So it goes along with it, which I love that. I love this little section here with the chocolates. And then this is also layered with those amazing, amazing foam adhesive, which you can run through your SCEM, the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Yes, your SCEM. You will get used to my acronym. It is so going to be the SCEM. That is it. That is its official name on the Kylie channel. Kylie and Bruno channel, SCEM. Then you open it up, right? So they're going to be like, today's plan is to consume chocolate. This is the best kind of chocolate because adulting is hard. And look at this amazing design on the inside. We've got some designer series paper. We've got incredible acetate here, window sheets. And here is our faux chocolate. It is the least dangerous chocolate you can ever have in your life. And then you can open up to this section here. So this is just a really, really fun card. We have a few friends, I'm not joking, we have a few friends who really shouldn't be eating chocolate. And this is going to be the perfect card for them because they have diabetes. We'll say, you're going to have pretend chocolate for you. But isn't it beautiful? It's such a gorgeous card. And I'm telling you, there will be friends. And of course, there are friends that we will actually put real chocolate with this gift. But wouldn't you just absolutely love seeing this? And just the layers that are in this. It's just like the surprise that keeps coming. So if you want to go and check out Bruno's amazing tutorial, it has all the measurements in any country, all the layers, you can head over and I'll put the link below. So I'll actually say Bruno's chocolate card, click here. So definitely if you're on Facebook, then it's above. If you're on YouTube, it's below. So check out those links. So well done, Bruno. Now another tutorial bundle that we have done is our autumn mega bundle tutorial. It has over 80 tutorials in that bundle. It is $35 Australian and Bruno made a gorgeous autumn card here. Again, using these amazing foam adhesive sheets and the beautiful designer series paper. There are some beautiful new autumn stamp sets in the new mini catalogue. And you might be wondering how to use them. You might be looking for ideas. Maybe you've lost a little bit of your mojo. Maybe you're doing some classes if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Anyone is perfectly able to go and order our tutorials because some people do ask, are demonstrators allowed to purchase? Absolutely, and anywhere in the world. So definitely head over. I will also put a link above or below, depending on where you are, next to the autumn mega bundle. You'll see that, and then the link will be there. So yes, 82 I think is what we got to, and we have demonstrators from all around the world. They're all part of our training program. And what I love about this is for some of them it's the very first time they have done a tutorial. Bruno put a lot of love into this tutorial. He worked really hard on not only putting the tutorial together, but supporting these ones who have never done tutorials before. And please remember that you can purchase the tutorial from any person in that bundle. Whoever you decide to order through, that's fine. Some of the ladies, it's the first time they've even ever sold a tutorial. And they're so excited, like so excited. So it's just a really great opportunity to not only try something new, but to learn something new and to discover the results from the hard work. And I think it also helps to build appreciation on how much work goes into making a tutorial, because a few of them were just like, what? I have to do measurements in all like the 2 different types of measurements. So we're like, yeah. And then they're like, can't I just convert it? No, it's not a conversion. And they were like, oh, this really is hurting my head. And we're like, welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of tutorial making. So it looks easy, it looks simple, but I'm telling you, there was hours and hours of work that was put into that tutorial bundle. So go and check that out. And thank you for your beautiful card, Bruno. Now, I also made this one this week. It got a lot of interest. It is such a simple card to make because of the stamp set. What is really cool about this stamp set, I think I've got it here still because I've been a bit naughty and haven't put them away. Yeah, here it is. Sometimes it works out quite convenient. But it's called Today's Tile. And what is really cool about this one is that you have 2 sections. So one section I did in the Misty Moonlight, and then this section, which goes on the inside, I did in Smoky Slate. This color combo I actually stole from Jessie. Thank you, Jessie. She made some cards and they were absolutely stunning. I'm like, I am totally using those colors. And this stamp set you may not have seen before because it's from... I think it's called Best Year. I don't have it here anymore, but Best Year. And it's just fantastic. I think that this would be a fantastic masculine card, but you can also get away with it not being masculine too. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful card. And your Stamparatus works really well with this. If you don't have a Stamparatus, you can still do it, but I tell you what, it made it a lot easier having the Stamparatus because I just could lie it down on top of it. So gorgeous card, really simple, but super, super elegant. I love it. So that was one that we did. What else have we got for show and tell? See, I told you we had a few show and tells. This one here, I have just put on the blog. Oh yeah, there's another one there. I've just put this on the blog recently, so you probably haven't seen it. Definitely, as I said, head over to KylieBertucci.com. Thank you, Switcher. So definitely go and check that out. This was a class that I did with one of our team members because we have a monthly craft class as a team, and we get one of our team members to actually run the class for us as a Zoom class. It's a free class for the team. And it means that our team member, we basically look after them. There are some rewards for them doing the class, which is good for them because, you know, it's a lot of work putting a class together. The team get to benefit, so they get to have a class for free. We get to all get together, so that's a great time to catch up with one another. All the perks of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and being in our team. And it also is fantastic because they get a lot of skills from learning how to use Zoom and trying new things. So it's just everyone gets to benefit. So I went to the class. This was Shirley Jones in our team, and she did this class. And what I loved about this class is she actually got us to stamp on one sheet of paper, Whisper White paper. So let me show you how I stamped it, and you'll just be like, are you for real? I just lost a little gem. There we go. So we can go like this. Let me see if I can get it all connected up without knocking you over. Without knocking the video. Oh, I think I've found it. There we go. So that is, can you see that stamping there? That is actually the sheet of paper, and I stamped it multiple times. You sort of start from the center and then work your way outwards onto your sheet, and then you cut it into 4, and voila, you have 4 cards. Isn't this the coolest? And then depending on how it looked and what sentiment I was wanting to use depended on what direction I decided to stick it down. And they just became their own, did a little bit of sponging, but they became their own little entities. Aren't they beautiful? I just absolutely love these colours. It's mint macaron, Blushing Bride and Smoky Slate, in case you're wondering. And I've got the Smoky Slate base. And I even did the inside because I'm a good girl. No nudie runs, remember? No nudie runs around here. So yes, very, very good. And just those beautiful little gems that I've added there as well. So that was a really fun project. So you can head over to our blog to see that. And then I also found this one that Bruno did because we've missed out on going to Maui, which is very sad. And this weekend we were going to be away for our leadership event in New Orleans. We're kind of glad we're not going to be there because it's looking pretty crazy over there with the weather at the moment. So we're thinking of all of you who are in New Orleans or in that area and praying that you all stay safe and everything's okay. But we just thought, yeah, I loved that Bruno just said, you know what? I'm just going to do some card making and we can just look at this beautiful view on the card. This stamp set, I have no idea what name it is. Completely blank. I'm like, nah, can't even make it up. I can't even think of it. But anyway, someone below I'm sure will think of it now. Virtual Kylie will assist us all. So just look out for the comments as you're watching. But I love how Bruno has even added the beautiful embossing behind and just the layering, beautiful blends he's used and this fantastic sentiment to take time for yourself. And you know what? I think that's a perfect sentiment for what's happening right now. We're actually quite busy despite being in the middle of a pandemic. Just make sure you take some time out and do something really nice for yourself, even if it means having a really nice bath or going for a walk outside or something. I ordered juice this week and it's so beautiful. It was so expensive. And I'm like, no, I'm doing something for me. I wouldn't blink twice if it was takeaway, but I'm like, I'm going to have some really nice, freshly cold pressed squeezed juice. Shout out to my beautiful friends from Juice Culture. They're in Geelong in Melbourne and they work so hard. They've won so many awards and I know why, because it's delicious. So yeah, if you want their details, let me know. But honestly, their juice is so good. And I sent a gift to my brother as well because I said, you know, we need to look after ourselves. We need to take time for ourselves and do some nice things. So yeah, beautiful. He's used shimmery white, by the way. Have you got shimmery white cardstock, all of you? Make sure you get some. It's really good for colouring in, really good for watercolouring, and it's just got this little shimmer. You couldn't see it properly on the camera, but it's gorgeous. Shimmery cardstock. Check that out. So, should we do some crafting? Firstly, though, I'm going to quickly do a really quick rack because I haven't shown you some of the rack cards. I love my rack cards. Thank you so much, everyone. Bruno and I absolutely adore your rack cards. Look at these beautiful, amazing. This was Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. This was our team. She's one of our customers. And this was Nicole in our team. We also have, what have we got? Judy Novak in our team. That's so beautiful. Amazing. So many talented crafters. Wurgie, she's in our team. Thank you, Wurgie. It's so beautiful. And this was Carleen. I love how she's used those gorgeous gems. I never thought of using that with that beautiful returned paper. I love that paper. I'm so happy it's back again. This was from Tracy. She's done some beautiful colouring there as well. And then we've got B. B sent this all the way from... Is it the US? I think it's the US. Yeah, I think so. It's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And then this one here was from Deb Chung. And then we've also got Jessie Scott. Jessie Scott sent me a card because she's so cute. Aren't they all beautiful? Everyone's done such an amazing job. We absolutely... Thank you so much. We love all your Random Act of Kindness. If you're not part of our Random Act of Kindness group, please jump on because you are just going to have so much fun sending amazing cards all around the world to beautiful people who really need it right now. We all need a bit of cheering up, don't we? Aren't they beautiful? so beautiful. Thank you all very, very much for these beautiful cards. We adore them. And we've taken pictures of them all and we post them on the group. So definitely check that out. Another little spoiling thing that happened today. Let's see if I can bring it over because it's quite heavy. But my team leader, Sue Maddox, in Stampin' Up, sent us this. Isn't this beautiful? And you know what? I laughed so much because she didn't actually see the video where I spilt my coffee. I know a lot of you did. But it's a coffee cup where I can have the lid. Brenna's like, I'm so excited you have your own now. And these, she definitely knows us well. It's espresso martini in a jar. It's a bit fancy. And some coffee because we're going to need it. And, of course, some amazing biscuits. So we have our leadership event this weekend with Stamping Up. We're so excited about it. And, yeah, it's already, the cat's out of the bag because the agenda's already out. But we've been asked to be demonstrators, presenters. I'm so excited. I'm a bit nervous. Hopefully people don't ask too scary question and answer. But that is a big, big, big thing. Like really big. I'm very excited about that. So it's a big weekend for us this weekend. Well, it actually starts, I think it's 4 a.m. tomorrow. The session starts here in Australia, which it's almost midnight here. I just don't think I'll sleep. I should have some of the espresso martini and just stay up. Sound good? Yeah, I think so. Why not? Why go to sleep? I'll sleep afterwards. So let's get some crafting happening. This is going to be fun today. So something that you all know, I feel very, very passionate about this. I'm about to get soapboxy, okay? I'm warning you. I'm going on my soapbox. Something I feel very passionate about is measurements. Yes, measurements. If you can get your measurements correct and understand card making measurements, it unlocks a very exciting place. An exciting place where you don't have any limits anymore. You don't have any fear anymore because you actually understand the basic, fundamental foundation of card making. I know this sounds profound, but it is actually quite profound because it is the first step to card making. And yet usually the number one thing that people neglect to do research about. So let me talk you through why measurements are so important and how they can benefit you. So what we're going to do today is use our amazing card templates, which many of you have seen. Some of you may not. If you haven't seen the card templates, it is a tutorial for you to cut these yourself. I'm sorry, but we just don't have time to cut them anymore for people. We used to do it, but no way. So these card templates, and the reason why we have them in different colors is so that I don't have to say layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, because the layers change. We keep adding to it. So we just color coded them. If you don't have the colors, that's fine. You can just name it, put it on your layer and name it. But what these do is they enable you to work out the measurements without having to use your brain. Because my brain really hurts when I do math. I don't like math at all. Are you like me? I hate math. And especially when it comes to card making, I want to have fun. And to me, math ain't fun. So how do we make this work for us? Today, I wanted to use some Designer Series paper because I adore our Stamping Up Designer Series paper, especially because I saw a behind the scenes of how Stamping Up do the paper, which I actually will put the link below or above wherever you are. That is not another link that I will add. Reminder, behind the scenes video. Kylie, remind me if I don't put it up. No, I will. But anyway, what I do, and many of you have seen my Love It, Chop It theory. And my Love It, Chop It theory is that you get the 12 by 12 paper and you chop it. If you love it, you will chop it. And you chop it into the Poppy Parade size in your country. because in every country the Poppy Parade could be a different size. So you cut it to that size and boom, you have a card front ready to go. Now, some of you may not want to just do a card front. Totally understand. So what we're going to do today is a bit of a mashup, and it's a good way to show you how useful these incredible card templates are. So what we're going to do is actually use this one here, these two little layers. So if you have the Old Olive and the Rich Razzleberry, go look for those because they are what we're going to use today. And your card base will be your usual card base, which could be either the I'm like having brain freeze. I was going to say Calypso Coral or Gorgeous Grape. So depending on which way, because one opens that way, so I would do that if I'm doing vertical, and the other opens like so, or yeah, like that. I usually use that if it's landscape because I like opening up. Ta-da! But up to you, whatever you want to use. Now, the reason why I love this Old Olive layer, and this is what I'm going to show you today, is because the Old Olive layer is actually, because some people will say, I've cut my paper and now I can't use it properly and it's really annoying. No, there's always an amazing way that utilizes our paper and the love it, chop it principle too. Because once we chop, we still have a lot of amazing opportunities to use this paper any way that we want. So I'm going to cut this at the size that it says on my Old Olive layer, because I've written it on the other side. And then you cut that and you go chop, and it is perfectly half of our love it, chop it size. I know. Are you amazed? And then the next layer is just, I've got some already pre-cut here. The next layer is perfectly matching that layer. Now I look at this paper and I just definitely think it needs to be landscape, but some of them will probably be vertical, portrait mode. So it depends on which way you're cutting it. Now, the cool thing is that once we do that, I have some amazing pieces of, isn't this beautiful? These colors in this Forever Greenery is absolutely stunning. So this is Pear Pizzazz, our new Just Jade, and the Pretty Peacock. And I've cut some different sized card bases here so that we can, mix it up a bit, have a bit of a mash up and work out which is going to be the best base for each color. So let's start with this one. So we've got this gorgeous color here, and I think it will go really well with our peacock, don't you reckon? And I think landscape. So if I'm going to go landscape, then I need, have I got a piece over here already? I already used it. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh no, here we go. So here we go. I've already pre-cut that and scored it. Now, once I did that, I lifted it up and I had a look. And look, it looks amazing. But maybe if this was a lighter colour, I just felt like because it was not centered into the card, some of you may really like that still. And I've already pre-cut an idea of what I want to use for the sentiment. So say if we just have a look at that and see what you think. It's actually pretty beautiful. Like once the sentiment is on there, like what do you think of that? I really like it. Let's do that one to start with. We can play around a lot here because I haven't locked it in. I wasn't looking any. I wanted to show you just like once you have measurements, how you can just play and you have more freedom once you understand measurements. Like a lot of people will say, how can you be, especially Jessie, our assistant, her mum has started crafting again. And it's been a long time. And I'm learning a lot from her because she's like, I'm just not confident. I'd rather just copy someone, and even copying someone can be challenging because you don't know the measurements. But once you know the measurements, say for instance, once we have this layout, you can use any piece of cardstock, any coloured designer series paper, and any sentiment that's, this sort of size, and you've got some beautiful cards, and you could churn out however many you want, like 20 of them, 30 of them, 50 of them, because you have the prototype. But to make it fun, you can just add a few different layers, change it up, add a little bit of stamping in there, and you feel like you have a completely different card. So let me jump in and show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to use the Forever Fern stamp set here, and I've used it for the hello. You can see that. We'll use this. You can do this as well. But I wanted to just see what this would look like. You may not be able to see it. So this is just, as I said, this is me testing to see what it will look like if I stamp this background, just to add a little bit more to this card. Another beautiful thing you could do is if you wanted to not have anything in the background, you could use some embossing folders. That's a really great background piece. And you could do that in the Poppy Parade layer size. So cut your cardstock. I would cut it probably this color, or even the beautiful pear pizzazz, whatever color you wanted. And you could use the subtle embossing folder, or there's some really beautiful leaf ones. And that would be a beautiful accent to the background. Embossing folders are a fantastic base layer to use. But then also on top of that, if you didn't want to emboss, you can create your own stamping layer. That's a really great place to go for your base. And another thing you could do is use our beautiful designer series paper. So just directly put, and you're not going to use something that we've got quite a bright, we want this to be the hero. It's the standout piece. So you would pick something that would be quite subtle. Something that's not going to draw attention to itself, but happy to just sit in the background and be quiet. Not Kylie. I'm really trying to learn to be that person that sits in the background and is quiet. So that is what you could do. And see how quickly that has completely changed this card. How gorgeous is that? I love it. And so you can see that this is just another way that you can use our beautiful designer series paper to create these amazing, and how simple and easy is that? And yet it's so beautiful. Not even any stamping other than the hello. And I love it. I just think it's so beautiful. So let's try it with, I've got so many different ideas now. I'm like, ooh, creative juices flowing. I hope it's doing the same for you, because this is what I wanted today. I wanted to be very fluid, show you how easy it is to come up with lots of different ideas using just my card template layers. And in particular, these layers here, these two layers, which is the rich raspberry and the old olive layer. Those two together is a fantastic, and then just your base. And then you can go from there, and I'll show you how you can use other layers as well that change it again, which is very exciting. So I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock because I don't think any other stamp will be dark enough, and I don't even know if this will be dark enough, but let's try it. Let's see what it does. And this is how I do a lot of my creative work, is just by trying it. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. We've got some designer series paper, we'll just stick it on top. And once you realise you've got all these options, you're like, freedom! Creative freedom! Oh yeah, I'm loving this already! Can you tell I'm excited? So, you are going to have so much fun once you realise the possibilities that open to you. Seriously, because you think, how many cards how do people come up with all these ideas all the time? I just don't understand. I don't have a creative bone. Like, I hear it often. I don't have a creative bone in my body. I just copy other people. And it's like, no, you do actually have a creative bone in your body. You really do. You just have to learn this first stage, this first step to being able to create on your own. And that first step is having the measurements. I honestly, wholeheartedly believe that. If you have the measurements there, and you can use those measurements over and over again, well, hello you. Love it. I'm going to put that on a raised piece, and look how gorgeous that is. Because this background isn't taking away from the front, but it is definitely adding something to it. It's definitely lifting that. And yet so different to this idea here. And that, you know, I don't not like this, but you might have something that you like more. I just think they're different. I love them both. They're just completely different to one another. But you can see how quickly, even if you use different coloured base, like if you use the pear pizzazz instead of the pretty peacock, it's going to change it completely again. And yeah, it's just super exciting. So let's stick this down, and we'll have a bit of a play with some other ideas as well. And I think I'm going to, and this is the other choices that you have, either stick it down flat or use our amazing dimensionals. And the dimensionals are fantastic when you're wanting to create those interesting layers and sort of help it stand out from the background. So by lifting this, it's going to lift it off that back and just really help it to pop. But, you know, again, it looks just as amazing flat. But it just has this really sort of extra professional feel to it when you have these layers. I think it's just what makes a card seem really just like that next step, that next level where people go, wow, you made this? Wow. Like, and they just have no comprehension of how you've created that dimension and those layers on your card. It really is a special thing that we have. And for people to understand how to even do that, they're just blown away by it. So I'm going to stick that down, make sure that it's straight. Thank you, grid paper. See, it helped me. It's like, no, you are not straight, Kylie Bertucci. Crooked as always. And then I'll just use my dimensionals on the back here. Now, one thing you will need to be careful of when you're doing this creative process, and what you will notice is probably one of those big issues that a lot of us have when you get into that manic creativity mode. I'm like, where did my dimensionals go? Ah, found them. They were underneath the trimmer. So yes, what can end up happening is you might have so many decisions to make, or you have so many ideas that you don't actually stick to one. You don't actually complete a card or complete a project because you're just constantly coming up with the next idea and the next idea. Oh, how does that look? Oh, how does that look? So just be mindful to do. Like, you've seen me here, even though I loved that paper, I'm like, no, stamp it, do. You can come back and do the paper in a moment, but if you don't actually finish a card, you can waste up a lot of time thinking about what you'd like to do and then not accomplishing any of it. So that's just a word of warning. How do I know these things? Because I'm the master procrastinator. That's how I know these things. And I am also very easily distracted. So if you are anything like that, you will also understand. So even though this is not centered, I don't know what it will look like in the American size because this is the Australian size. But even though it's not centered, I really love the edging, the way that it looks, the feel of it. It's just a really, really beautiful card. Super simple, super easy. Again, you can totally step it up if you want to by adding more to it, but I just love that. I think it's really gorgeous. Now, one other thing that I wanted to show you, and I'll do it with one of these ones. So this could be either portrait or landscape, this one. But let's do a portrait one just so you can see the difference. And we'll have a different base. What have we got here? Ooh, yes, let's use the Just Jade. It's just such a gorgeous colour, this one. This one's a new in colour. So I've just cut my my cardstock in half. You can either cut it in half lengthways or cut it in half. And this is, again, your old olive layer. So I've just cut our Love It, Chop It, our Poppy Parade layer that I'd already pre-cut. I cut that in half, which is the rich razzleberry is the next layer. So I've got some of those already here ready to go. So we have this one. Excellent. And then we can do, so you can see how this is the same card, but it can change very quickly and very easily depending on what you decide to do in the background. Yeah, what sentiment you use, how you use that sentiment. If you wanted to, you could lift this up a little bit and put the sentiment down at the bottom here, emboss it directly onto, or stamp it directly onto the card base. Yeah, it just, as I was saying, it's just creating those ideas. But once you do something that you do like, go for it. You know, don't procrastinate. Go for it. Jump in and do it. Now, one of the layer that I think might be nice with this, and this is what I was saying before about adding a layer. So see how this is there's quite a lot of large space here. But if you wanted to sort of bring it down a little bit, what you can do is add another layer in. And I think the layer that I was thinking of was, I wanted something, I think I've already pulled it out because it was, oh no, that's it there. What's that colour? Coastal Cabana. So get your Coastal Cabana layer. I've already pre-cut it here. Yes. Have I done that? Yes. Definitely looks like that one. So I've done it in the Pear Pizzazz because I can see that in the background. We'll just test that out and see if that works. Yes, I love it. So what you can do is all of a sudden, see how, because of a few of the layers that I've got, they actually are perfectly angled to fit. So suddenly this piece that isn't perfectly centered has now been centered by using this mat, this layer. And it just creates that, like for those of you, I know we have a lot of you that are OCD and you love things to be just perfectly so. These are this one's for my OCD friends out there. It just enables your eye to be completely centered, even though your designer series paper isn't. I mean, I love that. I think it looks fine. But for some people, it would frustrate them that the top is not the same size as the edge. For me, no problem. I have no issue with it. But this is a workaround that you could do to fix that situation if you wanted to. Now, one stamp that I think would be really beautiful, because I don't want to take too much away from this, and what's really nice with this one is it's got the little splotches. I'm thinking that that would be quite nice on here. I don't necessarily want to bring in the leaves idea, but we'll test it. We'll have a look and see what it looks like. Just J. And then we'll just do some Nothing major, just a few. And if you're not sure how it looks, in fact, what we can do is just do a bit of stamping off in between, because we don't want it too strong, but do want some coverage there. So you can even stamp a few times. Yeah. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. I think the stamping off, when you have like second or third generation, they call it, like the layering of the stamping, it's not as harsh like when you stamp that first layer, but then it has that beautiful, oh, that's just perfect. It has that beautiful interest that it creates in that background. I'll just lift that up so you can see it properly. But it's just added that, little bit of interest and texture and layer rather than just being flat. So I hope that helps. So you could do the exact same thing by using designer series paper, or you could do the exact same thing by adding a layer of embossing. Whatever you want to do, and you use all of them. Try them all, see what it looks like. And you're doing the same card, so you're not having to think, you're not having to come up with a completely different card from scratch. No, it's actually the same card. You're actually using the same layers. You're just adding, we've added one little layer in, and that's not too scary. It's not too overwhelming to do. And then you could use the same idea in your next card without having to sort of come up with something from absolute scratch. Because I think that's the overwhelming bit. Where do I begin? Where do I even start? Well, I'm giving you the starting point. Now run with it. Run with it and go for your life. And really enjoy that process of using this to create with. Now, when I see this colour here, I really think it will lend itself well to stamping the hello here. But I think what I'll do first is actually stick it down so that I can get the layers right, or the just to see how much room I've got and where it is going to be placed. There we go. Now, do I want to go, this is again the other idea, we can go dimension here. Yeah, I think we might do that, because the other idea is to go flat there and dimension here. But I think it's quite nice to bring that whole layer up together. And another thing that you could do here if you wanted to, because you've got this layer, some people ask, when do I use ribbon? This is a great time to add in some ribbon here, which again will create some beautiful interest. Do we have anything? Let me have a look in my stash. Let me see what I've got over here. We've got, so you can just hover it over the top and just see, and that's actually quite beautiful with that. But you've got to think in terms of being able to tie a knot or tie a bow. Oh, that's quite pretty too. So this is just a really great way of seeing how you can add in these extra, because those two are probably really pretty together. That's boho indigo. Oh, and that's actually forever greenery. I label them, by the way, because the sets of two, I'm always like, where does that even belong? Who even is that? What ribbon are you? I think I'm going to do a combo. Let's do that. See, I'm telling you, I'm just totally winging it today. But because we've already got our prototype, we don't have to be scared. And if the ribbon doesn't look good, just take it off. All good. As long as you haven't stuck it down. And even if you have stuck it down, it's always a way to rip it off. I've come in and actually cut underneath, cut the dimensionals. And I love this as a combo. I think that looks really good together, doesn't it? the Boho Indigo ribbon and the Forever Greenery. Who would have thought you two would be a combo together? So what I'll do is I think I'll we'll do our sentiment first, and then we'll do our little ribbon on the outside. So let's glue that down, because remember, our motto is do, not just keep creating, not just keep layering things and adding more to it. It's like, no, we've got to actually try and finish this card, because you can spend a lot of time going, should I? I know, I've been there. Now, I think what would be nice, let's test it. I know this seems really strange, people, but no one is going to know this, right? Because I want to test the ink. No one's going to know. I know this is going to scare some of you, but this is how I test it. On the back, no one's going to know. Just all of you. Oh yeah, that looks good. So that's just jade. Now let's try Pretty Peacock and see which one we prefer. Because this is going to be how we decide to pick the colour. Ooh! They're actually both beautiful. I wouldn't mind either. In fact, I'm going to go with, because I feel like there's more jade in here in this than there is peacock. So that's how I test. Shh, don't tell anyone. If they ripped the card apart, they'll find all these random surprise! Little testing hello behind here. Jade. Did we decide on jade? Yes, we decided on jade. Good. Yes. Just making sure that all the Pretty Peacock has been taken off, and make sure you have it the right way round. We've all been there. We've all done it. Well, hopefully. Hopefully I'm not alone. And voila. Hello. So beautiful. Now, that is going to get lifted up there. Now, let's do our ribbon. With ribbon, what I find really, really easy is just using glue dots. It's my favourite. So, oh, did I knock you? Sorry. I'm going to use some glue dots that I have over here. And I'll pop those down there. Is that stuck down? No. We need to collect you. So stick that. Good. And it probably will help if I cut this. So just give yourself a little bit of room. Not too much. You don't want to waste the ribbon, but you also don't want to be too skimpy that you're making it difficult for yourself. Thank you for your service, little scissors. Grab the other side here. So these have got 2 glue dots. In fact, I'll put another glue dot in the middle as well, just so that it sticks down nicely on in the middle. It doesn't have a little gaping spot there. So we just eyeball where we think it'll look nice. And this is where I sort of sit everything in its place where it's meant to go. And then just sort of play a bit. You can go, oh, do I want it through? Or do I want it on the outside? I like it through, but I want it a little bit lower. So that I think about there. Just, you'll work out the spot that's just really pleasing to your eye. That sort of fits right with the sentiment, fits right with the placement. And if you're not sure, just put it in place. And sometimes what I'd like to do, I'm very fortunate because I've got Bruno to go to, but you could take a photo and send it to a friend and just say, what do you think? Do you think here or here? And don't stick it down yet. And they'll tell you, they'll go, oh, I like this one. And then you can go, nah, you're wrong. I like the other one. But sometimes hearing someone say what they think, it cements what you think. I don't know why that happens. Even though They may not even agree with you. You're like, no, you've cemented it. I definitely don't like that. Ooh, look what we're doing here. And I actually want I want to be able to do a bow. So I need longer. Oh, that's not looking like it's sticking down, but that's okay. We'll put a dimensional on it as well. I think because this boho ribbon is a little bit thicker, what do I need? I need it to be about there. That's right. And then I'll do all the way around. Yes. Okay, I've got it now. I've got it, everyone. I've got it. So there and there, but I need to bring this around as well because this is going to be the bow. So let's see if that's enough give and see what it looks like. I don't really want it to, maybe if it sits closer to there. Yeah, I want it to be on the same layer. So what I'll do, I've got it. What I'll do is just not do that. And then, yes, tie the bow on this side. Yes, yes, yes. So the ribbon can be a little bit fiddly, but as you'll see when we get to the end, it really does just take it to that next level, having this beautiful ribbon. And let's face it, we've got this beautiful ribbon, why don't we use it? It's like, what's with this hoarding mentality that we all have? Let it go, let it go. Yeah, that is perfect. Yes. Now, I want to bring it over here. See how I'm not tying it? I'm just trying to match it so that it sort of sits between that little hello, just so that it has like a little focal point or somewhere like a point of interest. The other idea would be to go the opposite. That's sometimes what's good. But yeah, finding a place for it to sit so that it makes sense. And I love that it's like gone all tassely. Can we do it on that side too? Wow. This is like turned into a Greek goddess now. It's a Greek goddess with gold and leaves like Athens. Just needs the Olympic crown now. So I'm going to cut it about there and do the same on this side because I don't want too much to be sticking out. Oh yes, I love this so much. But you can see, like, there's a bit more work in this one. But again, it's just trying new things. And once you've done this once, you're going to be like, oh, now I know what to do. It's going to be less difficult the next time. Or you might have a different idea of your placement. But that is a beautiful, beautiful card. Thank you for bullying me into using ribbon. I can't even hear you, but I'll blame you. Hello. Shh. Don't tell anyone. They won't even know it's here. But wasn't that a great little test, huh? And it looks so good. I love it. Because I didn't want it to sort of take over, and I think the Pretty Peacock, it would have, yeah, would have taken over a bit. So we'll stick it on top of the ribbon, just to give it a little bit more, make it a bit more permanent. So you can see how quickly and easily you could whip yourself up some cards using these same ideas, but not having to hurt your brain too much. We need to preserve our brain. We want to have fun, not stress out and hurt our brains. Oh, that is beautiful. I've just thought of one more thing that we can do. Actually, it's a little bit crooked. Let me see if I can lift that. See? Lifty, lifty. Seriously, I have become the dimensional lifting champion because I'm always crooked. Yeah, it's probably no better, but that's okay. The only person that will know it's crooked is Bruno. Now, do I have dimensionals? Yes. These are the ones. Not dimensionals, sorry. Some embellishments. I think these gold ones. Where are they from? Where are they from, everyone? I'm testing you. Where are they from? Yeah. I want a big one. And a tiny one. I love that these have so many different sizes with it too. And we'll do some over here. I think that's enough. I either go 3 or 5. I think 3 is just right. There you go. What do you think? 2 cards, completely different to one another, but using these 2 layers here the same. And all we've added on this is this other layer here, which was our Coastal Gabbana layer. And I just think it's come up so beautiful. I mean, the hero is this paper, right? And this, even just this whole stamp set, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful set. But I have already pre-cut, and now that I've got these done, I've already pre-cut some of these here. Let's have a look. Don't want to knock you, but there is designer series paper underneath here. But looking at these, you can just see by changing this designer series paper how it will just become a completely different card. And so you'd get that, and then you could just change. Like, look at it. It's like amazing, isn't it? Who would have thought? Let's look at that one. And then just add a sentiment. It's so amazing. How much fun is it? It's like, ooh, let's see what this one looks like. It's pretty cool. So you can just use this prototype. And you've got yourself, like, however many cards you'd like. How many do you want? 20? 50? Whatever you like. I love that one. That looks really cool. So there you go. Happy crafting, everyone. I hope this has inspired you. For those of you that are finding it a little bit challenging with your mojo, return mojo. I'm hoping that just by using, just set yourself the challenge of using, remember those 3 layers. 1, where's our other one? Rich Razzleberry. And, oh, there they are. Rich Razzleberry. And I think our old olive has gone for a walkabout. It's underneath all of the cardstock here. It's underneath all of my creativity that happens when I start going like this and branching out. I'll find it in a moment. I'll do a little bit of a tidy while I'm chatting to you and see if it just turns up. So it has been wonderful being with you all today. But remember, old olive and then just your card base. Because I don't... Oh, I found it. Yes. It was underneath the cardstock. There it is. So there are your 3 layers. So that's that bigger one. And then they're the 2 that I've used, and then just your card base, your regular card base. So if you have our card template tutorial, pull it out, get your measurements, because these are your measurements no matter what country you're in. This is going to work. And for this one, it's just those 2 and the card base. Really simple. My hello, it's 1.5 centimeters in Australia, probably like 1/4 of an inch for everyone else. So really simple, really easy, but you are just going to have an absolute ball with this layout. And I would love you to tag me or mention me or call, like PM me, whatever, if you use this layout, and use it with the other designer series paper. We have so many beautiful papers. You could even do your own stamping. Don't even use paper, just do stamping in this section instead of the paper. Whatever you decide to do, you could use embossing in this section instead of paper. Totally up to you what you end up doing. But it's been wonderful to be with you today. If you have any questions, queries, if you'd like to join our Stamping Up team, we'd love to have you in our team. There's amazing things happening. We've got our stem machine. No, just our stem, because that would be like ATM machine. Stem, the stamp and cut and emboss machine. And we would love to have you in the team. We've had new ones join. In fact, there is a special coming up in September. It is September next month, isn't it? Yes. In September, where you get some card kits and 2 free stamp sets. Whoop, whoop. So if you want to join in September, let us know. It's not that far away. Just contact us. We're happy to chat, help you work out the best possible situation for you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. We shall see you next week for a live. It's a live next week. So we'll see you then. And until then, happy creating. Make sure you're sharing your cards. Join our Random Act of Kindness group. The links will be above or below wherever you are. Random Act of Kindness group. Look out for it and send some love to those who need it the most, which is all of us. Hugs. Bye, everyone. See you soon.